Should I start this with a quote or something? I mean, I would, but this yapping video could be taken more like a rant video if anything. We all got things we like in video games. Music, gameplay, graphics, but we got things we hate while playing said video games too. I'm not clever enough to make a damn intro for the people that can't pay attention to something for longer than 30 seconds, so here's 5 gripes in video games I have. Self-explanatory, I don't like games that enforce co-op onto the players. Look, I get it, some games are meant to be played in co-op, and those ones are usually an exception. I'm talking about games that are very unfriendly towards the solo players of the pack. I get it, it's more fun to play games with others, and honestly, probably a lot easier to play and have fun rather than if you were with bots or, realistically, by yourself. But I don't like that some games essentially take the route that the whole game is only meant to be played in co-op. Some of us, like myself, just like going through things alone and seeing if we can improve ourselves rather than relying on the other people we have on our sides. Supposedly on our sides anyways, but certain games take away such an element forcing cooperative gameplay. So now, I either get a choice to play with some random people I don't know about who might just grief the game entirely, or I could just drop the game entirely. Now, I don't like dropping games, because for someone like me, just even buying a game is a big decision. I'm not the most versatile player within the player base, alright? If I buy something, it's with full intention on playing and completing it. And if you're telling me that the only way to complete the game, or really get an achievement, is to play co-op with other people, there's a good chance I wouldn't exactly have as much fun as I normally would. In fact, this first spot was supposed to be for nigh unachievable achievements, but forced co-op games irk me a lot more than some silly achievements. Do you guys love exploring the world within a video game and love traveling across it to see what kind of beauty you can find? Perhaps the lore within the background, the sun setting over the vast horizon, or the ocean waters reflecting the moonlit sky off of it? Yeah, I love that too. What I don't like is having to see it 20 times over just because where I'm trying to go is way too far and inaccessible. Some of us love the journey from going from point A to point B. The relaxing world and music as they slowly get to their point, I can understand it. I just hate the fact that some games are padded out longer because of it. If you enjoy the open world and the vibes it gives, that's completely fine. I just really don't like it because the in-between points of point A and point B in most cases isn't worth re-exploring. Sure, the nostalgia is something to enjoy, but in most cases, I really just want to go where I need to be. Sure, there can be some stuff on the way while getting to point B, but really, there's a good chance I already explored the area and all of its secrets already. It just becomes a walking simulator, which is so boring. Sometimes the journey there just takes so long. For no reason either. Good reason. That's something, isn't it? In my Tales of Berseria gameplay, most of the time when I needed to get to a point of interest, there wasn't really much of a speedy method, and since I'm not the most interesting person, there was a good amount of dead air going on within the videos. Even with its fastest method, it still felt quite slow. Even in other games where the transportation method is teleportation, they usually only have specific spots you're able to teleport to, and even then, they don't teleport you close enough to where you need to be, so you still have to take some time just getting where you need to go. Sure, you can save 10 minutes of traveling with the teleport, but I still gotta take another 10 minutes waltzing my way there. Let's look at the opposite spectrum. 2 games I play come to mind where I don't necessarily mind it that much. Blade Chimera has an upgrade that allows you to teleport to any point you want. Certain areas are closed off, but it makes sense within the context. Honestly, it was hella convenient, but it also imposed a risk sometimes since you could always just teleport into a swarm of enemies. Plus, some quests still had you look for what you needed by yourself to counteract this. They would highlight the area, but they wouldn't tell you outright where you needed to go directly. And Neo, The World Ends With You, although there really isn't much of a speedy method to getting around. As of recording. The whole area of the game is small, so traveling to a main point never takes that much time. Plus the music is grooving, so come on. Just have more groovy music so I don't feel as obligated to go where I need to go, damn it. Give it up, give it up, give it up.
Let's move.
Can I just groove for a moment? Sheesh. Yeah, that's my personal bias. Simply put, I just don't like wasting my time doing nothing but walking for 10 minutes to get where I need to go. Okay, to clarify, this only applies to when you're too weak to progress at a point in the game because your character or whatever lacks the power to fight off the upcoming threats. When it comes to farming or grinding out a rare item, it is completely acceptable since it is self-enforced in many situations. Or in farming games. It's a farming game. Grinding out your crops is almost a necessity. I'm talking about when you're 15 levels behind the enemy boss or something and you're forced to farm the weaker enemies for hours, or even days just to be able to progress. Or to farm for a legendary item to help you because nothing else seems to work, and that's the only solution the player base came up with because the devs thought it would be funny to have an impossible to beat boss. No one likes to grind unless the process is fun. I hate it too. And yet I hear some people complaining about how some games make grinding easier with certain items or mechanics to help the player. I don't get them, but okay, I guess. Usually some grinding is always just a normal thing in many video games. You don't usually take that long, but for some other games? Oh my god, dude! I think the biggest contender for this gripe is a game I played called Labyrinth of Tohu 2. Now, I played hard mode just to head some, so there was a level cap against bosses that you couldn't exceed. I didn't mind that since I was usually over leveled and I would just lower my levels via the Hakurei Shrine. What I did mind though was the fact that when I did need to grind out levels, oh my god, it took way too long. Same with Artificial Dream and Arcadia. As much as I really like the game, grinding out levels sometimes takes so long to the point where it kinda kills the joy I had for the game. More so the Labyrinth of Tohu. I love Tohu Adia for real. But the Labyrinth of Tohu takes tedious grinding so far. Even farming the strongest things, the EXP gain was still a bit negligible that I actually dropped the game entirely after beating its final boss. I like the game, but the need to farm for the next big bad enemy happened so much that it killed my motivation to continue the game any further. Pokemon 2, if you're not using the EXP share, don't have a lucky egg, or just have terrible luck encountering good Pokemon that yield even decent EXP, you're gonna be stuck for hours trying to get your team caught up. I get it, you gotta put in the work sometimes, but sometimes isn't sometimes. Sometimes is a lot of times, and a lot of times it makes me cry. That's an exaggeration, but the point is made. You know that one Eisen quote that I put in the Gaming Trace video?
If I'm in this 100%.
I'm pretty sure that's a mantra a lot of people don't really abide by. If you don't get it, let's just put it in simpler terms. You might know that one friend that will intentionally die in a game or progress way too quickly just so they can eat whatever food they are quote unquote snacking on. And they're still just progressing without saying a word or killing themselves intentionally. Some say they haven't stopped eating until the next morning. Like, if you're hungry, just eat, damn, bro. We're not talking about that, though. That's a player gripe, not a gaming gripe. But I don't like it specifically that in some games where if you die in co-op, you're not allowed to do anything until you revive. There are exceptions to this because it makes sense within the video game. Call of Duty, MOBA games, any battle royale games like Apex or something. It realistically makes sense that you might have to wait a while if you die early or late game. Or if you're doing well, but, you know. I'm talking about those games that are so unfriendly towards the ones who die quickly via whether the player's fault or not their fault. Among Us, Peak. You kinda lose a lot of the fun when you just die too quickly in those games. Some games have ways to counteract it, but it's more like putting a band-aid on a laceration. It'll help, but you're gonna need more than that to fix the problem. Believe it or not, as much as I dislike survival horror games like Repo or Lethal Company, the intensity within those games are a lot more enjoyable to spectate rather than some other games. You can always watch that one friend clutch up winning the game for everyone or just see them die suddenly. The key thing is that even though you die, there's a chance everyone else will die, which allows you and all the other dead players to get back into the game. Although that most likely means everyone else has to start all over, including you, but hey, if you suck like me, you don't mind that much, eh? But specifically in games like Peak, look, I respect those that play the game, alright? Just a disclaimer. But dying feels so punishing sometimes. Of course, this can all boil down to a skill issue, but when you plummet into the crust of the earth at mach speed because of a slope that thought you were falling when you weren't and it decided you were anyways, you kinda have some reason to be upset. And in many cases, if you fall while playing Peak with your friends, chances are they might just have to leave you behind because it hurts more going back for you because of the loss of progress and resources. They can save you, but it doesn't matter anyway. You're still aboard the spectating train because whether you die or stay incapacitated, you're not playing the game. And sometimes in games like these, and also depending on the players, you will be waiting for so long to the point where you start contemplating whether or not it's worth it to even continue. Of course, this can be factored out by how entertaining the situation is or how interesting your friends make it to be, but usually there's a lot of nothing happening until you get revived. You're already aboard the spectators train. Just pull up that gacha game you're working on or that video you wanted to watch. Waiting for your revival always takes a while. Might as well make yourself a sandwich or something. I know what I said earlier, and to that I say I'm sorry. I lied, but this one actually pisses me off. A lot. This gripe was actually supposed to be something else, but it was more of a gripe with players than it was with video games, so here we are. In case you're curious, the only hint you'll get about what the original gripe was going to be here is something associated with environmental entropy. Now obviously, achievements are something that is completely optional. Whether it be Steam achievements or in-game achievements, they are something that rewards the player for doing something specific. A little good job to the player, if you will. Now first off, I am someone who likes achievement hunting, but that's only for games that I really enjoyed. If I really like a game, there's a good chance that I will try to 100% complete it. Or just get all the Steam achievements, really. But I swear to God, some of the achievements that I've been tasked with are so tough, dude. I know it's optional, but it really feels like I can only be at peace if I showed how much I love a game by 100%ing it. That's a personal issue, to be fair, but I know some achievements might require the player to push themselves really hard past their limits, but usually, I know that most of those types of achievements can be achieved with enough practice and training. Honorable mention to an achievement if it's clever or really fun to do. But I swear, some of them honestly ask for more than that when they shouldn't. Spend a lot of time doing tedious things. Speedrun the game. Don't die and beat that game. They all are possible, but I shouldn't be sacrificing my own blood, sweat, and tears for a little shiny medal, alright? Satisfaction must feel great for finally achieving it, but the grueling hours of work, or days even, just to get to that point is honestly not worth it in my opinion. Plus some other dumb achievements like play the game in its alpha or beta build, or play the game for over a year in hours. It's so like, sorry for swearing, but it's so fucking dumb. Why have them as achievements if they were going to be locked within an era that I can't go back to? Do I get a fucking time machine or something to help me? And do you even know how much a year is when converted into hours? Let's just do the math, you know, I'm just look at the calculator, don't worry about my spelling. So there's about 365 days in a year, you know, times 24 because there's 24 hours in a day. 8,760? Are you fucking 8,000?
It's only a game.
Or how about an achievement completely reliant on luck where you have a major disadvantage? Yeah, just try to win $1 million in a blackjack minigame. And you only start with $500 too. Also, the AI is supposedly quote-unquote in your favor, but it definitely feels like a lie.
Let's go gambling.
Yeah, fuck that. I love and show support for the games I enjoyed, but if you want me to prove it to you by doing some fuck shit achievement like that, you better be prepared for some backlash for real. I've honestly rage uninstalled some games like this and never looked back because of some of the achievements that they had, and to be honest, probably a good choice in the long run. Achievements are eternal, but my health is temporary. I might suffer a morale penalty now, but I know damn well it will be a good trade-off in the long run. It makes me sad regardless since I like some of those games, but really, the choice to preserve personal health is a must rather than some stupidly tough achievement. Anyways, that's it. Yeah, those are just 5 gripes I have with games. I definitely have more, but you know, they're like smaller gripes. It's whatever. Anyways, I was supposed to have a yapping video in January. If you didn't already know, hopefully you guys respect my dumb opinions I have. Don't know what I'll yap about next time, but hey, time will tell. Anyways, thank you everyone for watching or listening to this yap video. Like, comment, subscribe, you do whatever you want, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye bye. Oh yeah. Hey humans. Welcome to the 7th entry in the Sterxion yapping anthology, I guess. But I don't like that some game like pop-up came up. But I don't like but I don't like that some games essentially take the route that the only God damn, alright, what first time back, alright. What I don't like is having to see it 20 times over just because I'm yeah, because I can't read the script. Yeah, I fucked it all up. I fucked it up. Some of us love the journey from going from point A to point B. Point B. If you enjoy the open world and the vibe of it, that's completely fine. I don't really like open world, by the way. I thought that was ad-libbed. Why did I say that? I know I said I was like sick earlier, but like I'm actually like a little sick. Like I got a sore at the back of my mouth, and it's really like screwing me up right now. Blade Chimera has an upgrade that allows you to teleport to any point you want. Why did I say? Oh my god! Come on, man! Come on, Sterxion! Fuck! What the? How's that for recording? It's a recording. It's a recording. It's a recording. The whole area of the game is small, so travel to a main point. Did I get quiet there? The whole area of the game era. Oops. It's cold, dude. It's like November right now. When it comes to farming or grinding out a rare item, it is completely acceptable. I'm talking about when you're 15 levels behind the enemy boss or something, and you're forced to farm the I'm talking about when you're I'm talking about when you're there. We can see. Oh fuck, icky. I'm crying. It sounds so whiny. Oh, I get it. You gotta put in the work sometimes, but sometimes is it sometimes. Sometimes is a lot of times, and a lot of times it makes me cry. Some games have ways to counteract it, but it's more like much more. Oh no, I'm losing my voice. Believe it or not, as much as I dislike survival horror games like Repo or Lethal Company, the intensity, believe it or not, as much as believe it or believe it or here comes the Sterxion engine again. Boom, 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 boom. Fuck it. Crying. Guys, you know I'm crying right now. It's cold. I'm cold. And in many cases, if you fall while playing Peak with your friends, chances are they might just have to leave you behind because it hurts more going back for you because of the loss of progress and resources. There's a lot of emphasis in that and. I actually typed here. That actually doesn't make sense to me. What the fuck was I typing? Now obviously, achievements are something that is completely optional. Whether it be a Steam oh my god. Now, first off, I am someone who likes... Hold on, wait, I actually gotta turn off the fan, because my fan's on. It's actually a heater. Like I said, it's cold. I'm still cold now. But hey, this is getting released in like May. Confirmed date, it is being released in May. To those who reached this far anyways. And do you even know how much a year in a what? Why did I type that? I love and show support for the oh that oh